Alright, this is an interesting one. If you notice our signs, we've got subtractions and additions. How is that possible? How do we get subtractions in our in our series? How did this happen? Well, it happened because basically everything we're multiplying by, the thing we're multiplying by is a negative. And so each time it gets multiplied by a negative, it turns the sign. So it was a positive times a negative is a negative. A negative times a negative is a positive. Positive times a negative is a negative. So this thing that we're multiplying by has to be a negative. So R is a negative of some sort because that's why it's changing sign. Technically, in hidden, it should look a little bit more like this. You want to see what it really looks like. So now it's 128 plus negative 19 plus 72 plus negative 54. Now you can see the negatives. I've kind of divulged them if you want to think of it that way. All right, so we are going to figure out what R is. And again, what I told you to do is take the second term and divide it by the first term. And this is going to be divide by 4, I think. So this is 24, and this is 32. Ooh, I can divide it even more. So this is 3/4. 3/4 negative. Okay, negative 3/4. If you don't know, again, take your calculator out. Go use my mouse. And I type in those numbers again over negative 96 divided by 128 math, enter. And there's my negative 3/4. Okay, so negative 3/4. Now we go and apply it to our rule. Okay, our rule says the absolute value is negative of negative 3/4. Has to be less than 1. The absolute value of negative 3/4, remember, changes all negatives to positives. 3/4 is less than 1, so that means we can use the formula. So S infinity equals the first term, which is 128, divided by 1 minus a minus 3/4. Okay, so that equals 128. Let's see, a negative and a negative make a positive. So this is really 1 3/4. So that's 1 3/4. We'll just put 1.75. 1 3/4. This is the 3/4 part right here. There's a decimal, and then here's the 1 part, obviously. All right, so we're going to just divide. So 128 divided by 1.75. So let me grab my handy dandy calculator. I use this in my mouse. 128 divided by 1.75. Enter. 73 we'll just say 73.1. 73.1. What are my other decimals? 1.4. We'll say 1.43. Well, it's 1.428, but that's good. About thousandths is good. 3 decimal places. And that's how you do this. So your toughie part is figuring out what the R is, and then if it meets the condition, then use the formula. If it doesn't meet the condition, then don't. And then this part, this is all calculator. You just have to make sure you put it in correctly. You have to put this in correctly. If you wanted to do all the work, just make sure that when you put in the calculator, you do 128 divided by all of this needs to be put in parentheses, so because remember, the calculator can't see your paper. You need to tell it that all of this is being divided into 128. Okay, so you've got to tell it that.